Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Levi from Dynamic. We are a business helping accounting firms using AI, implementing certain tools and automations basically to make more money, to save costs, and just to make life easier. We're here at The Balance, and today I've got a very special guest. Toni, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely, and thanks, Levi, for having me here. Name is Toni Kivinen. Basically, I have heavy background of different fintech companies and banking, and currently working as a CEO of CostPocket. Basically, the CostPocket itself as a company, we are focusing on expense management. So this is a service for not only for companies, but especially for the accountants. Basically to digitize any kind of a receipts, purchase invoices, and basically transfer that data easily for the accounting softwares the companies and accountants are using. That's kind of what we do in a nutshell.
Nice. And can you tell us more about how you started that and what was the reason behind it?
Well, I guess it was kind of not planned, I would say. As I said, I have a banking and fintech background, and kind of accounting softwares were pretty familiar for me from those times because I was working with different accounting software companies, kind of how to integrate payment and financial solutions to the accounting softwares. So I kind of have had some feeling about the business itself and the challenges and also the possibilities. So I just accidentally basically noticed that the CostPocket is looking for a country manager to Finland to be responsible from the whole market. So I basically applied to that role, and I met one of the co-founders, Martin Sokail, and we decided to start the cooperation. And as I said in the beginning, I was responsible only Finland as a market, but since early this year, now I've been working as CEO of the CostPocket, the whole company, which is now operating Estonia, Finland, Poland, and Latvia. But the Estonia and the Tallinn is basically the place where we have a headquarter, and most of the people are sitting there.
All right. Can you tell us more about your background? Because you said you come from like banking and fintech, then you stumbled across a CostPocket, then you applied for the role, and you're doing that right now. How did you get into fintech? How did you get into banking, and why are you doing that?
Well, the short answer is that when I was younger, of course, money was something I was interested about, and where to kind of be part of the money is the banks. So I got a kind of a, let's say, part-time job from the local bank when I was studying in Helsinki. So basically, the banking career started from there. I was kind of a clerk in a office when there used to be physical offices more here and there, but nowadays they are shutting down those, and everything is digital and online what comes to different services. But yeah, I started from the local bank, and I was heavily focusing on sales and partnerships, and at some point I was also developing financial systems and products and services, and it's always a bunch of coincidences, and you end up to different companies. That also happened to me after the banking career, so I ended up to different fintech companies, and again I was heavily focusing on sales, leading the sales development projects, and kind of this partner thinking or ecosystem thinking has been recently my kind of favorite topic to kind of develop and try to find some synergies with different companies, how to work together more efficiently. So that's also part of my current role in CostPocket, how to kind of find the partner ecosystem, which basically supports our business and we can help them, because our business is heavily relying on this partner ecosystem at the moment. Without that, I think this company wouldn't even exist.
Yeah. Okay, and what do you specifically mean with the partner ecosystem? Because I read on the website that you work with like 35 different software integrations. Has that got something to do with that, or?
Yeah. 98% of our clients, and when I'm talking about clients, I talk about companies who are using our services are somehow connected to accounting softwares we have, where we have built up the integrations basically. The integration means that, well, let's start from the beginning. As a company, as an entrepreneur, for example, normally they download our CostPocket app from Google Play or Apple Store, and they start basically digitizing receipts. let's say, paper receipt, they take the picture from the receipt using our app. And we do the digitizing basically using our OCR technology. We can come back to that topic later, how it works in practice and what's the technology behind that. But after that, we have identified all the different kind of data from that receipt. We will transfer that data to the accounting software the company is using and her accountant is using. So we also try to do it as perfectly as possible that all the data will be in correct places in accounting software, that also the accountant don't need to do much, just checking that everything is okay and just approve the expense. So we are kind of friends of not only the entrepreneurs or companies, but also the accountants.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. And what is like the main reason that an accounting firm or an accountant itself should use CostPocket? What are like the benefits?
Well, first of all, it will save a lot of time from the accountants because they don't need to manually kind of enter any data from papers or any emails basically to the accounting software they are using. So definitely it will save a lot of time basically from the accountants. And our accountants like us in a way that actually they are also willing to pay the invoices on behalf of the companies who are actually using the service. So actually it's pretty normal case that the party the CostPocket is invoicing is the accounting agency, not the company. Of course, it's their business. I mean, the accounting agency and the company, how that relationship will work with invoicing perspective, but it's pretty normal that the accountants kind of are paying the invoices on behalf of our clients.
All right. And what markets is CostPocket currently active in? Because I know you are mostly responsible for like Finland, Estonia, as you said, but what markets do you serve your clients?
As I said in the beginning, the company was originally established in Estonia. We have a office and headquarters in Tallinn. So obviously most of the client base is still coming from Estonia. The second market we opened was Finland, and third Latvia, and fourth is Poland. Currently we are not actively kind of looking to open in new markets, but we are slightly investigating the Lithuania because we already have some integrations with Lithuanian software companies. So if there are some clients who like take us in use, so we don't have anything against that, but not heavily at least focusing on recruiting people to Lithuania. And in total, I would say roughly we had 13,500 clients, businesses from these all four markets. And as I said, majority is coming from Estonia for sure.
All right. So you're not actively looking to expand into different markets. What are the main goals or the main plans right now for CostPocket to grow, or what are you guys working towards?
Well, the good thing is that we are growing in all markets pretty well at the moment. We have roughly 40% growth rate per year. Obviously, we have been the longest in Estonia, so it's not growing that much anymore what it used to. So I would say the growing markets right now are Latvia, Poland, and Finland. And of course, the Poland is the freshest one. And looking at the population, there's an enormous potential for us. So those are the kind of the growing markets, and we are expecting to obviously to develop new features and the usability of the service, because that's definitely our advantage comparing to the other competitors, that it's basically easy to use, which is obviously important for a SaaS company, that the product actually works also from the user perspective. But there's some limitations kind of how much this business can grow with the existing business model. So we are now investigating that, which is not that abnormal when you compare us to the competitors, that we could also have our own business cards to connect it to the existing solution, the app itself. So then we could automatically also get the card transactions to our CostPocket app. And when the company is digitizing a single receipt, we will automatically match that receipt to the transaction of that card. And on top of that, we are also thinking about to add not only cards, but also kind of SEPA Euro bank accounts. So, and why? Because that's also something which will differentiate us a bit from our competitors, because many of our local competitors have added this card. And normally nowadays you can have this white label possibility that you have your own business card. But not many have actually started to think about that you could provide more comprehensive also banking services, including the bank account. And this is also very close to my heart, this topic, because of my background. As I said, I've been working in banks and fintechs. So this banking as a service, or BaaS, is getting more and more popular in Europe, but I would say globally also. And we are now evaluating, there are a bunch of providers who could actually help us out, but maybe the challenge is that which provider is the best fit for us to cover all those four markets. And currently we are estimating that we could have this up and running hopefully end of Q4 this year.
All right.
And this will definitely increase our possibilities to grow even more and increase the average company invoicing per month, and not twice, maybe triple or even more in the first 1-2 years.
Because one thing that makes me curious, you're not really looking to expand into different countries. You're more like looking to grow in the markets that you're active in right now. What do you do at CostPocket to grow, to generate more leads and to make more people aware of your services and the platform?
Well, in Estonia, basically, roughly 11% of all active companies are already using us. So we are pretty well known in Estonia. So there's, of course, I'm not saying that we shouldn't do any marketing or sales in Estonia. And we're actually planning to recruit some people also to focus on that. Because so far, companies are just finding us. Of course, we are doing a lot of social media marketing and joining different web events and webinars and doing that kind of activities to increase the visibility. I think the biggest problem is definitely those three other markets, because we have a relatively low market share from those. Increased credibility, visibility, so it means that we need to increase also those efforts, and it means money also. We need to put more to those other markets. And especially in Finland, the competitive landscape, it's pretty tough, and there's a lot of similar solutions, and also accounting softwares are now starting to build up kind of their own OCR technology inside the software. So there's not that many our kind of companies anymore who are purely focused on this expense management as an independent company. It seems to be that those accounting softwares are now trying to also take their share of that market and build their own solutions.
Right. All right. And next to that, what other challenges are you facing right now with CostPocket? What other things are you mainly working on?
It of course depends about the country. It's a country-specific problem. If we, for example, talk about Poland and compare Poland to Finland, so we are slightly in different level what comes to digitization also. So it means that we need to also adapt the sales processes and what kind of target groups we are aiming, because not everybody is or companies, but also accountants are ready to take using this kind of services. So I'm just trying to say that it's maybe too advanced services right away to push this to certain target groups. So we need to carefully pick whom to target the services, and also building up integrations to accounting softwares. It's more challenging in Poland than, for example, in other Baltic countries or Finland, because I'm surprised that not even, big software companies in Poland, they don't support APIs. And this is something we're not gonna start delivering information without APIs. That's just a fact, unless the business case is good enough.
All right. Okay, makes sense. And reflecting on your career and reflecting on what you're doing right now, what key lessons have you learned about leading digital transformation in the financial sector?
Mentioned already that it will definitely reduce the manual work, and it will basically allow people, and thinking about, for example, accountants, to focus more on more valuable work, basically helping companies more comprehensive, not just typing things manually from place to other or systems to systems. So they can actually focus on, as a whole, look at the company also, and supporting the companies from financial perspective. For example, our accountant in Tallinn. Obviously, she is using CostPocket, so those expense-related documents are working pretty well. But she's also helping us a different reporting stuff, making P&L analyses and also guiding us if there are some legislation related stuff or accountant related things we need to take into account when we are making some decisions as a company. So I think the role of the accountant, and I mean in general I would say this kind of tools and AI will definitely give more opportunities. It's not a threat that people would lose their jobs. They can focus on more important stuff. And I think also the end client will be more satisfied to see this development, that they get better service also.
All right. You already mentioned AI a couple of times. What do you think if we're speaking about accounting, what do you think that loads of people are scared of this, of course, that AI will like fully take over bookkeeping, administration, and also potentially like accounting. What is your vision on that? What are you also working on with CostPocket to maybe replace using AI or different things? And do you think AI will be able to fully take over this industry?
It's actually interesting to have this opportunity to see this from four different market view. So I would say maybe in Finland we are slightly ahead of Baltics and especially with Poland. So actually people are now adapting to that more and more and taking different kind of tools in use. So they're not that hesitant anymore. So it's actually nice to see that there's still some resistance. I'm just saying that, but people are more open-minded currently, I would say. And I haven't noticed or seen that people are losing their work basically because of AI. Actually, controversy, they are now focusing on real work, real valuable work, also to increase the satisfaction also between accountants and clients, because they are getting now, I would say, more comprehensive services, what I said also earlier. But it's challenging also for us in certain markets kind of push this aggressively to certain targets. What I also mentioned about the Poland. We need to be very patient, basically, and it means that we need to maybe simplify things also, because there are a bunch of cool features under the hood of this CostPocket. So it may actually mean that it doesn't make sense to kind of use those, I would say, the most advantage features or solutions, for example, so for some Polish accountants. So we could maybe just try to take step by step and start them to kind of use the basic services, and they would be more comfortable kind of at least try it out.
All right. And what is one piece of advice that you would give to entrepreneurs in general, but also like accounting firms that are looking to grow or looking to innovate with AI?
Well, first of all, I understand that it requires some time to kind of explore some new stuff, new features, new solutions to help out. I mean, in daily basis, the accountants or entrepreneurs, it takes some time. And, nowadays there are a lot of solutions available. Just do Google search or whatever tool you're using to kind of find information. But the thing is that there's so many options available right now. I would definitely kind of trust the word of accountant. And we have also seen that there's a lot of power on accountant's word. So the entrepreneurs are actually listening to accountant and those advices. But again, coming to that, how accountant will basically find out the best solutions, what are they available in the market, is that we need to also make an impact on that side and try to introduce our services for the accountants and our target groups. And again, it differs pretty much what kind of market status there are at the moment. In Finland, for example, there's one dominant player who started the business 2014, and now majority of Finnish companies are using this service right now. And when people are used to use some services, or they have their own patterns, and if they have used the services in a similar way, let's say a decade, it's super difficult. And also I'm thinking about accountant perspective. It's super difficult to make a change, give a shot to a new player. Even though, let's say that the new player have a much better features and OCR accuracy is super good, and in overall it's a better one than the one they have used a decade already. So I have seen that's the toughest part, how to convince not only the companies but accountants to make the change, give us a shot, try this out, and you will see that you can actually help not only yourself but your clients kind of exploring new stuff.
All right. Sounds interesting. Toni, I really want to thank you a lot for your valuable insights and all the lessons you gave us in this podcast. If people want to know more about CostPocket or if people want to know more about you, where could they find you?
Go to costpocket.com, and especially if you go to Finland, you will find my contact details from there. But also just type or email tony@costpocket.com, so you can always email me directly.
Perfect. Toni, is there any last words or any last things that you would like to mention or say for the podcast?
I'm repeating myself already, but I think that, as I said, there are so many opportunities right now also on AI and accounting perspective, but use some time to explore and what are they available. And I would actually use some time to focus on kind of at least try out few options and see that could this be good fit for me and for my clients, and give a shot to new things. But again, it takes some time, and I understand it. People don't have that much time to kind of new things.
People don't want to make time. They're all too busy.
That's how it is.
That's what they think. All right. Toni, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. We will put the links to your website and your email also in the description of the video. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Levi, and this was The Balance.